Do you remember when you bought your phone? You paid for it, you unboxed it, and you owned it. It was a tool you controlled. But have you noticed what's happened in the last 12 months? That device in your pocket is undergoing a hostile takeover. It's no longer working for you. It's working for a shareholder meeting at Google, Samsung, or Apple. Suddenly, your keyboard is watching what you type to help you. Your photo gallery is scanning your memories to organize them. And your settings menu is hiding the off switch behind 3 layers of legal text. You might think this is just progress. You might think, hey, cool, a magic eraser for my photos. But if you look at the fine print, the battery drain, and the subscription models they're building, you'll realize this isn't a feature. It's a landlord moving into your pocket. I'm going to show you how the industry is using dark patterns to manufacture your consent, why your phone is suddenly acting like a desperate salesperson, and why that private cloud isn't as private as they claim. Welcome to the era of the artificial smartphone. Let's break it down. We're going to map this terrain in 3 parts. First, the illusion of consent, how they trick you into turning this stuff on. Second, the rent-seeking, how they plan to make you pay for it forever. And finally, the artificial stupidity, why this technology creates more problems than it solves. Let's start with the setup process. The industry calls this the out-of-box experience, or OOBE. I call it the trap. If you've set up a Google Pixel 9 recently, you've seen this. You're tired, you just want to transfer your contacts, and boom! A screen asks you to activate Gemini. The I agree button? Huge, high contrast, right under your thumb. But where is the no thanks button? Oh, it's there. You just have to scroll through pages of terms of service to find it. They are banking on your fatigue. They are betting that you won't read the difference between the old Assistant, which just set timers, and Gemini, which is a generative model hungry for your data. Samsung is doing the exact same thing. They call it bundling. When you update your Galaxy to the latest One UI, they ask you to accept intelligence features. But notice the trick. It's often an all-or-nothing deal. You can't easily say yes to local translation, but no to cloud processing. And if you try to opt out, they hit you with what designers call confirm shaming. They use language like, "Are you sure you want to miss out on these advanced features?" It's designed to make you feel stupid for protecting your privacy. They aren't asking for permission. They are bullying you into compliance. And speaking of bullying, if you think this feels familiar, like a company taking over an operating system you thought you owned, you need to check out my other video, Windows is a Cruel Joke, and it's getting worse. It's the exact same playbook. The OS isn't a tool anymore, it's a billboard. But let's look at the interface itself. Have you tried to use the circle to search feature? Or rather, have you tried not to use it? It hijacked the long press home button, a muscle memory we've all had for a decade. Now you're just trying to navigate, and suddenly Google is scanning your screen because your thumb slipped. They call this engagement. I call it interface interference. They make it easy to trigger by accident, so they can show investors a chart saying, "Look, everyone is using AI." But why are they forcing this so hard? Why the desperation? Because the hardware party is over. People are keeping their phones for 3 or 4 years now. That terrifies Apple and Samsung. If they can't sell you a new phone every year, they need to turn you into a tenant. They need to turn your phone into a subscription service. This brings us to the rent-seeking phase. Look at the fine print on Samsung's website. It explicitly says, Galaxy AI features are free until the end of 2025. Did you catch that? That's an expiration date on your phone's functionality. You bought the hardware, but you're only renting the intelligence. Google is already there with Gemini Advanced, $20 a month. If you want the actual smart version of the AI, the one that can actually write decently or integrate with your docs, you have to pay. They are creating a class system on Android. There are the premium AI users, and then there are the rest of us with the dumb version. To be fair, servers cost money. Running these models is expensive. I get that. But Apple is doing something even more cynical. They are using AI to force hardware obsolescence. They told us Apple Intelligence only works on the iPhone 15 Pro and newer. They cite RAM requirements. And sure, LLMs need RAM. But do they really need the latest chip for text summarization? Or is it just a convenient way to tell everyone with an iPhone 14, a perfectly good phone, that their device is now obsolete trash? This generates millions of tons of e-waste. We are throwing away perfectly functional silicone just to chase a software trend that, frankly, isn't even that good yet. And that is the funniest part of this whole investigation, the artificial stupidity. We are trading our privacy and our battery life for features that actively hallucinate. Have you seen the notification summaries? Imagine getting a text from your family. The AI summarizes it as mother having medical issue. It strips out the emotion. It strips out the urgency. It turns a human crisis into a bullet point. Or worse, it misses sarcasm entirely. There are reports of AI summarizers taking a breakup text and turning it into discussion about relationship status. It's sociopathic. It's a phone-down game of telephone where the middleman has zero social intelligence. And then there's the privacy theater. Apple talks a big game about their private cloud compute. They say the data is deleted immediately. They say not even they can access it. But here is the problem with the cloud. You cannot verify it. Security researchers have pointed this out. You, the user, have no way to cryptographically prove that the server you are talking to is actually running the safe software Apple claims it is. You just have to trust them. And trusting $1 trillion corporation with your private voice memos? That's a big ask. Researchers have already found leaks. Siri sending metadata about your location when you just asked for the weather, or the cleanup tool in Photos. Samsung calls it generative edit. Have you seen what happens when it goes wrong? You try to erase a person from the background, and the AI replaces them with a plastic-looking nightmare blob. It's the uncanny valley in your pocket. But the real danger isn't just bad photos, it's the security radius. We are seeing fleeceware apps flooding the stores, fake AI apps charging $10 a week for basic features. We are seeing malware disguised as AI assistants, requesting screen recording permissions to steal your banking passwords. And let's not forget the battery tax. Running these neural engines burns power. Users are reporting 10 to 15% drops in daily battery life just by having these listening features active. So, what is actually happening here? This is a pivot. The tech giants ran out of hardware ideas. The screens are good enough. The cameras are amazing. So they invented a new problem. You need AI to sell you a solution that requires a subscription and a new phone. They are redefining the contract of ownership. They want a future where your phone is a terminal and the real brain lives in their cloud, behind a paywall, training on your data to get smarter so it can sell you more stuff. Now, quick clarification. I'm not saying AI is useless. I use ChatGPT. I like some of these tools, but I want to choose when to use them. I don't want them woven into the operating system, watching my screen and begging for a monthly fee. The AI phone of 2025 isn't about empowering you. It's about extracting value from you. It's a desperate move to keep the line on the graph going up. So here is my challenge to you. Look at your settings, turn off the diagnostics, opt out of the generative training. Don't let them monetize your habits for free. And I want to hear from you in the comments. What is the absolutely dumbest thing your phone's AI has tried to do for you lately? Did it summarize a love letter as a business memo? Let me know down below. If you want to see how this hostile takeover mentality is spreading to your PC, seriously, click the video on the screen right now about Windows. It's the other half of this puzzle. Stay skeptical.